Oleksandr Usyk came face to face with Rico Verhoeven during a press conference for their fight in Egypt. And Rico Verhoeven has promised the world exactly what he's going to do with Oleksandr Usyk. So let's have a listen to what Rico said, and then we can react to it.
From the first bell, what are you going to do?
Knock his head off. That's what I'm going to do. I'm, like I said, I'm like 55 pounds heavier. Yeah. So as soon as I hit him, it's going to be something different. Oh, what an opportunity I have here. I'm going to shock the world in front of the pyramids in this crazy scene. It's like, oh my God, I love it. That's why I'm so excited.
Look, fair enough to Rico Verhoeven. He's confident, and so should he be. He's a champion in his discipline. You know, people respect him in kickboxing. People think he's the best thing since sliced bread. People think he's a great fighter. He's getting all the accolades, the respect from people that love kickboxing. So fair enough to the lad. He is confident that he's going to knock Oleksandr Usyk's head off. Something that nobody has come remotely close to doing. But he believes that he can do that to Oleksandr Usyk. And you know what? I don't blame him. I don't blame him because they have set an example for guys like Rico Verhoeven to feel confident to say this when they come into boxing. And of course, we saw this, right? Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. This happened, and everybody that comes into boxing thinks they can come into boxing and do whatever they want. So, as I said, I don't blame Rico Verhoeven for feeling confident that he can come into boxing and knock Oleksandr Usyk's head off. But you see, people forget what boxing is. Or I might say people are ignorant to what boxing actually is. Boxing is a specialist sport. In kickboxing, you can kick someone in the legs, you can punch someone in the head, you can punch someone in the belly. You can do all sort of things. Boxing is a specialist sport, and people don't understand how difficult boxing is. And it's only a matter of time that people find out exactly what happens when you play with boxing. And I keep telling people because when this happened, we all saw exactly how devastating it was. And I remember going into the Francis Ngannou fight, I told people Anthony Joshua is going to absolutely obliterate Francis Ngannou. And people didn't believe me. Now, you guys, if you remember, even boxing pundits and boxing fans, some boxing fans said that Francis Ngannou was going to knock Anthony Joshua out. People actually picked Ngannou to beat Joshua. And these people were boxing fans or even boxing pundits on TV, on radio. And I remember making videos and telling people Joshua is going to knock Francis Ngannou spark out. And it isn't because Francis Ngannou is some bum or is not a good fighter in his own right in the UFC. Francis Ngannou was then coming into boxing in a whole different discipline. And Joshua is a world-class heavyweight. And what that happens is that Joshua is going to land one of the big shots that Francis Ngannou will not see coming. And that's exactly what we saw in this fight. He was knocked out in a devastating fashion. So for Rico Verhoeven to have the confidence to feel that he can beat Oleksandr Usyk and that he can knock Oleksandr Usyk's head off, he has every right to have that confidence and believe that. But I don't think that Rico knows exactly what he's getting himself into. And look, I think a lot of kickboxing fans and even some boxing fans under this video, when they see this video, are going to say, I must be crazy. And Rico has a chance of doing, and Rico is going to do this, is going to do that to Usyk. Usyk is old and this and that. Guys, boxing is totally different to kickboxing. Let me tell you that. If you don't know that, let me tell you that now. And as I said, boxing is a specialist sport. And Rico Verhoeven has no idea what he's got himself into. In this interview, Rico mentioned the fact that he has been sparring, heavyweights. He talked about sparring the likes of Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. Rico feels like because he sparred all these good heavyweights that he can take that into this fight against Oleksandr Usyk. And guess what? That is in some way true. Because, sparring these heavyweights, he gets a feel of how to fight a heavyweight, and he's going to go in there and bring that experience in the ring. But what Rico doesn't know is that sparring in boxing is totally different to fighting on a night under the light when the pressure is on. When you're in the squared circle in boxing, the sport that we love, when you're in there, it will expose every single flaw that you have. And Rico Verhoeven is going to know exactly what that means when he faces Oleksandr Usyk. Guys, this is not going to be a close fight. I'm going to say it here. What we have here is a guy that nobody knows exactly how he fights. Nobody knows how hard he punches. Nobody knows his fighting style, because this is, let's be honest, this is his first fight, his first real fight in a boxing ring. So this is what Usyk is going to do. He's going to take his time for a few rounds, figure this guy out, see how hard he hits, see how tricky he is, see what stance he comes in. Usyk is going to use his feint. Usyk is going to use his footwork. Usyk is going to use the jab that he used so well against Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury is almost the size of Rico Verhoeven. And what did Usyk do? He targeted Tyson Fury's body and pushed Fury back. Now, Usyk is going to do the same with Rico Verhoeven. He's going to target his body, and Usyk is going to find out how Rico Verhoeven will react to certain punches, certain moves, certain angles. And once Usyk downloads that data, once Usyk finds out exactly how this guy thinks, how he moves, how he reacts to certain things, it's over. It is absolutely over. I am telling you guys right now. And as I said, I know some of you kickboxing fans in the comment right now are saying I am absolutely crazy and I'm out of my mind, and that Rico Verhoeven is going to knock Usyk's head off, as he has said. Usyk is going to figure this guy out in a few rounds. And I'm telling you, this guy is going to get stopped. If he doesn't get stopped in a devastating fashion, the referee is going to save this guy for another day. This is not kickboxing, guys. This is boxing. This is heavyweight boxing, where it is unforgivable. These guys hit too hard. These guys are way too spiteful. Oleksandr Usyk is just too good, too skillful. Just out of this world. The skill level between Oleksandr Usyk and Rico Verhoeven is just out of this world. And on the night, people will find out exactly what I am talking about. This fight will not be close. This is not going to be competitive. And look, it is two heavyweights, two big guys in the ring. And let's put it this way, Rico Verhoeven is much bigger than Oleksandr Usyk. Anthony Joshua was bigger than Oleksandr Usyk. Tyson Fury was bigger than Oleksandr Usyk. Daniel Dubois was much bigger, stronger than Oleksandr Usyk. Derek Chisora is a bigger, stronger guy than Oleksandr Usyk. But what happened? Usyk defeated all these guys, apart from Chisora, twice. So size, as Rico Verhoeven is describing in that interview, doesn't mean anything when it comes to heavyweight boxing. Size means nothing. Usyk has got the skill, Usyk has got the boxing IQ, and Usyk hits now like a full-fledged heavyweight, and we saw exactly what he did with Daniel Dubois. So look, guys, this fight, is not going to be any close fight. And I'm sorry to tell some of you kickboxing fans that this is going to be painful to watch. Usyk is going to dissect this guy, and he's going to take this guy into deep waters, and he's going to drown him. Usyk is going to drown Rico Verhoeven, guys. And as I said, we saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou, and I think something similar could happen in this fight. So guys, get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Rico Verhoeven promising the world that he's going to knock Oleksandr Usyk's head off. Do you think he can do it? Is he going to do it? How do you see this fight playing out? Let me know in the comment section below. And also, if you are a kickboxing fan, please get in touch. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think about Rico Verhoeven and his chances against Oleksandr Usyk.